What's up, everybody? It's Heat Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you this week and Dr. Roto. Oh, yeah. I'm going to apologize. I was at SummerSlam yesterday, so if my voice cracks or goes out at any point during this podcast, I am sorry. Anyway, let's get right to it, to another Heat-tastic review. Week 20. Man, I was just sitting there. I had everything going. It was Friday. Everything was good. Got home from karate. Riley had the RBI. So that was a plus 105. And then Alonso, I think it was a plus 115. So bam, hit both those. That's positive cash right there. I parlayed those. Again, you should be parlaying that. I keep talking about making the different combinations with my articles because my articles always leave it out there. Look, when I'm going 2-2, 3-1, 4-0, any parlay you make with any of that, you're gonna most likely win. And that's just more money that you will win. And that's what we do at Dr. Roto. So if you haven't been to the site, head there right now and check out all the great NFL content that we have going on. I'm going to get to that because I review another article. It's actually my article. It just dropped today. Literally wrote it today. It was a little late, but SummerSlam was to blame for that. So sorry, but we got it. We got it. Right. So, but move along. Juan Soto, I really thought that Juan Soto could get two of those RBIs for the Yankees. He did not. That is a loss on me. Again, that's just something to me experimenting, trying to get the two RBIs, which I have hit those. I have hit those. So, and then, man, Hustle Kim, man, just a hit, bro. 4 at bats, and you're popping out and you're lining out to first, and then people are optioning to tag out. Like, he hit the ball. It's just that they got the person out on second base. So unfortunately, he's lost 2-2 for the week, 43 and 28. I saw Trevor's article, what he is for the year and what Lou is for the year. We're practically all right around it. Lou's putting out a lot more, I think, than me and Trevor, but at the same time, it's all about the percentages. The percentages say that when you bet with Dr. Roto, you win. Yeah, I can still do it. Woo! All right, let's move along to my AFC North sleepers. Again, it just dropped about 3:30 today, and I highlighted 4 players from the AFC North that I thought that may be getting undervalued, overlooked, when maybe you could swoop in. So there's a couple players, one player in particular, a number 1 wide receiver, one of these teams that a lot of people are disapproving. Just they're not even thinking about it. And I think that's wrong. I think that, things can be changed for those. But again, you'll have to go to Dr. Roto to read my entire article. So let's talk about Pat Freiermuth, or Move, as they would do in Pittsburgh, in the Yinza City, right? Yeah. Woo! So Pat Freiermuth has had this kind of crazy year. As a rookie, he had Ben Roethlisberger, a future Hall of Fame quarterback, behind him, and he was used exactly the way Ben used Heath Miller. But man, 7 touchdowns? Yeah, that was Heath Miller like, right? And they used to go, so you see there's a theme. Now, of course, contracts are going to start coming up for Freiermuth, and he's going to need to perform. Now, going into his next year, he, of course, inherited the Kenny Pickett experiment. And that experiment finally exploded in year 2 with injuries to Muth, missing most of, 5 games last year. So, and even in the games that he was in there, it was bad. It was slim pickings. They pretty much had to rely on Jalen Warren and Deontay Johnson making these crazy outs. And I mean, Najee Harris was in there, but he was just kind of like, Mr. Consistent. Whereas every once in a while, you would have that explosive game from Jalen Warren that would really help the Steelers separate. But man, and a lot of that ended up becoming it ended up being Mason Rudolph. So when Rudolph came in, and he started using Pat Freiermuth after he came back, he got, it led to good games, like when he had the 9 reception game last year. Pat can do that, right? And why? Because now he has Russell Wilson. Now Russell Wilson is coming off not so good of a year for tight ends. Out of 49 quarterbacks, he was like 47th at a 13.5% rate passes. Now, if Russell Wilson has a good team, he has a strong running game behind him, like he had with back in the day with Seattle. And back in the days with Seattle, when he had Jimmy Graham was able to go over 90 targets twice and 70 once in those years. Now, that is huge, huge for Pat Freiermuth because in year one, he got 79 with Ben, but then in his sophomore year, he got 98, but his touchdown slipped by 5. So only having 2 touchdowns really kind of hurt his fantasy value, although he did have the receptions to go with it. Again, in a PPR, that is helpful, but we need at least, my idea for a tight end, a decent tight end, is at least 4 to 5 touchdowns in a year. You just need that, maybe 600 yards and like 60 passes. Give me 60, 604. I want to say 6, but we know that's asking a lot for a lot of tight ends in this league. However, when you think about it and you take a step back, in those years that he had an actually good tight end with Jimmy Graham, and kind of has almost the same. Oh man, that Roman Wilson injury really hurt because the Steelers don't even know they're gonna have problems with Van Jefferson, and that is why Freiermuth is a big, big, big addition right now in any fantasy league. If you want to skip, even in tight end premium, if you want to skip tight end right now, he needs to be a target or at least a backup target because he's going to produce. I'm not saying he's going to get 90, 100, targets, but at the same time, when in this offense right now with a rookie coming in, we got Pickens, and Pickens, we already know what Pickens is, right? So with that being said, when you flip it back and you talk about Freiermuth, sorry, I know I've been all over with his name, man, but that's what happens when you fight on Friday and you go stand in the sun for about 12 hours, 13 hours. But if with that offense and the way it's built up and being able to run the ball and play the one of the best defenses, one of the best front seven in the NFL right now, this team is easily going to get Muth the ball. And my prediction is, and this is straight out of my article, 87 targets, 65 catches, 712 yards, and 6 touchdowns. I did not do the 606. I added 7 because he breaks away. He's able to make sure and he makes plays. And they do a lot of what they did with Heath Miller with him because that's who Tomlin is. And you don't have to worry about Arthur Smith at all because Tomlin knows his guys, his people that he has brought in. And I trust in Tomlin and I trust in Freiermuth to have a great year and be a sleeper for any of your football or dynasty seasonal best ball needs. Yeah. Have a great day, everybody. And always remember to bring the pain. Ooh, yeah. May the best be with you.